Today we're gonna be building a badass V10 M6. And for all of you who are tuning in for the first time, I bought this car for $5,900 at Copart. Previously on Backspeed Boys, I bought the cheapest V10 BMW M6 in the world from a scrapyard. And this car happens to be known as the most expensive and unreliable BMW ever made, but with its supercar-like qualities and its dirt cheap price, it was a no-brainer for me. 500 horsepower high-revving V10 coupe, derived from the BMW F1 race team? Sign me up. After replacing the battery and finding out that it runs like crap and doesn't move, I realized I may have bit off more than I could chew. So I replaced the spark plugs and coils and got it to run right, but it still didn't move. Then I tried to sell it, but then I realized I was being a pussy and I got back to working on it. We dropped the transmission and found the destroyed clutch and throwout bearing. We did a clutch job using an aftermarket spec clutch and readapted the trans and got the car running again. This put us about 50% forward, but we still needed to attack the Achilles heel of this car, the rod bearings. So with the help of our friends at ECS Tuning and Lang Racing, we got the rod bearings replaced, so now the car is bulletproof and we can finally start adding some cool mods to it. Okay, now that you're caught up to speed, I want to share with you something that I did the other night. I completely removed all of that wrap off the top. So for those of you who know, this is a carbon fiber roof. Right now it looks terrible because I bought this car from a junkyard. Now when I bought it, it had this crusty wrap all over it. The wrap on the roof just started falling apart, so I took a razor blade. It took about 3 hours and I just pulled off every single piece. The thing has been baking in the sun for a few years. The gel coat's gone, the protective layering is gone. It needs to be completely refurbished. That we're gonna have to take care of. Let's get to modding. Okay, the first mod today is some carbon fiber. So we got a diffuser, we got a front lip. Not too many people sell carbon fiber for the M6 anymore. So this is from our friends over at Carbon Creations. So thanks to them for supplying this. Looks really nice. We're gonna put them on the car and nothing adds horsepower quite like carbon fiber. We got our tape, our double-sided 3M tape all along it. So now I just gotta basically fit it perfectly. So, fit it, kind of smack that shit right in. Okay, well we've basically built a GT3 car now. It looks cool, I like it. Okay, let's hope it doesn't fall off on the freeway.
Whoa, 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 that's not gonna hold up. We're gonna need some help from some set screws. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, this thing ain't going anywhere. Okay, time to add the front carbon fiber lip right here. Of course, this will make it faster. How long do you guys think I'll last until I scrape this thing right off? Okay, it's on. Tape's holding it, but I don't think that's enough. I think it's set screw time.
Did someone say set screw? Yeah. I want to take a quick pause away from today's video to thank our sponsor, Redtiger. If you own a car and you don't have a dash cam, listen up. It's super important. Let me tell you why. In the case of an emergency, if you get into a crash, you're gonna wanna have actual evidence and footage of what actually happened and went down in that crash. And that's why a dash cam is so important and vital. This is a 4K ultra clear, high definition dash cam. Wow, dude, look at that. That thing is pretty neat. This one goes in the front of the car, much more important, but in case you get rear-ended, you also got one for the rear. Super nice. In the box, it also comes with all of the accessory wires that you could possibly ever need. This is a all-in-one inclusive kit. And just like that, it's out of sight, out of mind. Let's go check it out on the road. Getting this thing installed and working was an absolute breeze. This camera is crazy high quality. It looks great during the day and at night. It's got an 18-month warranty, and with its eMMC technology, it's got 128 gigabytes of internal storage. What's super nice is the wire that they include is made to plug right into your cigarette lighter. In case you decide, hey, I don't want a cigarette lighter, well, they also offer a hardwire kit. Make sure to hit up Redtiger for all of your future dash cam needs. Now, back to the video.
Okay, quick update on the V10 M6. So I'm trying to get the paperwork done, and in the state of California, to get a car with a salvage title when you buy it from a salvage yard, you gotta do 3 big things. You gotta get a smog done, okay, not too bad. So I've been driving it back and forth, getting all those readiness tests done. You gotta get a VIN verification, easy, take it to the DMV. And then you gotta do a safety inspection. Now, it used to be just a brake light, headlight inspection, super easy. Now you've gotta do this like multi-hour long process at a specialized place. You can't have any dash lights, which this is a BMW, it's gonna have dash lights. So I am now stuck in limbo because I have to fix every single dash light that this car has right now. Now, in a few videos ago, we put brand new tires on, we replaced the TPMS sensors. So we got rid of the tire light. Now, what we gotta do is fix that ABS light. This was the expensive one that I was dreading. So let me show you what we plan to do. Okay, if you come to the driver front wheel well and you pull the wheel off and you pull out this inner liner, right here, we can see the ABS pump. This is a very, very mucho dinero part right here that I don't want to replace. You got all kinds of lines that go back and forth. So what we think after we used our gear wrench scan tool, which shows you like everything about this car, we saw that the motor is bad, which is this big black thing right here. Now, once again, I'm not an expert. This was my first BMW, you know, jumping right into the M6, looking at a bunch of forums. Basically, I think this little black motor is bad. Now, the good news is that I think I could get a replacement. The problem is that that piece is like 800 bucks. But luckily, I believe that it's the same part number off of, you know, like a 328i. So what I plan to do is go to the junkyard, find a 328i, and pull that piece off. And if we replace it, hopefully that solves our ABS light. That would be massive. That's something that we're gonna have to take care of, top priority. But yeah, let's get back to, you know, making this car cool. Okay, time for the next mod. An Alcantara steering wheel. So this was sent from our friends over at Ozza Auto Wheel. Super nice. We got the M stitching. We got a little bit of like a gray mark right here, which kind of matches the white interior. Like actually, look, it actually matches like really well. This looks so much better. So let's swap it out. But the first thing we got to do is disconnect the battery.
All right. Make sure to disconnect the battery, otherwise it has the potential to blow up in your face. Disconnected.
Okay, first thing is to remove the airbag. And as I pull it out, look at all that hair that's on it. So this thing is nasty. But this is important, this shit's expensive. We're reusing that. So now we can see all kinds of shit. So first thing is that main bolt. Bolt is removed. And just pull it right off like that. So I'm guessing I gotta swap over the fucking paddle shifters now. Here's the difference between both steering wheels. And honestly, the leather one isn't bad, but this is a whole lot better. So looks nice, clean. We'll see how long it stays clean for. But yeah, I gotta get these paddle shifters swapped over. Let me, you know, check YouTube on how to do that. Okay, so we switched over the paddle shifters from the old wheel. My old one was broken, but it's fine. I don't use the paddles that much anyways. I'm more of a shifter guy. So anyways, we're gonna be putting this thing right on like this. Super simple. Literally just goes like right like that. Okay, airbag is plugged in. So now we're good.
There you go. How's it feel?
Really nice.
You have your own GT3 M6 now.
I know, we got carbon fiber, we got suede, we got everything we need. Okay, next up for this car are some hood struts because the old ones are completely busted. See, when you buy a car from a junkyard, chances are you're gonna have to replace every single component on the car. And luckily we've had the help from a lot of sponsors, so I'm not in that deep on this car, but by the time we're done with this, it might have been cheaper to just buy a clean one. But you know what? Having a car that you've touched every component of, it's what makes it special. Okay, so I got 2 new hood struts. I just gotta start pulling them apart. There we go. Okay, so I just take a screwdriver, jam it in, pull this little tab off, and then this thing comes right out. Or just break it like I just did. So I got the new one, and I'm just gonna jam it in there. There we go.
Look at that, dude.
Look, I only need to replace one. No, I'm kidding. Let's do the next side. Oh, there we go. Hood struts are fixed. test them out. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Now it acts like a $100,000 car. Funny thing is, I actually bought those a long time ago, but I always forget to put them on. So, you know, better late than never, I guess. Okay, now for a mod to piss off all the purists. I've never been a fan of the blue in the BMW logo. I like the logo itself, I just don't like the blue. This, in my opinion, looks much better. And when I bought the car, it already had these things on here. Look, it's already falling out right now. They're so messed up. So we're gonna just pull those out. I have new replacements, but let's start changing it. And I know this is like an eBay purchase, and it says, you know, Chenghe on the back of it. I know, and I'm sure I'm gonna get flamed in the comments for it, but I don't really care. I think this looks much better, and it'll help make that M6 look a little bit better, I think. For those of you who don't know, because they used to make airplanes, and this looks much more like an airplane, or, you know, a crosshair or something.
It's a propeller.
Let's remove this sticker. This is the most Temu-like mod I've ever done on this car. It's actually nice quality, it's not that bad. Slam that in there, it looks nice. We just powder coated the wheels. The whole car is dirty right now, but forget that, we'll clean it. There we go. So I even had one for the steering wheel too. So apparently Lenny hates them. He thinks they look terrible and tacky. I think it looks good, so let me know in the comments down below. Is it incredibly tacky? Did I just ruin the M6? Or is it a tasteful mod? Now, unfortunately, the kit that I bought didn't include one for the rear, so I might have to just take a Sharpie right here. I don't know, maybe a Sharpie or a sticker or something. I don't know if you guys remember, but the rotors when I picked up this car was so rusty and so bad. And everyone said, you gotta change the rotors, they're bad. Sometimes all you gotta do is put a few miles on it. It cleans it right up. You know, 3, 4, 5 years of sitting. Who knows how long this car sat, but it sat in a junkyard for a few years. And what a nightmare those rotors used to be, but we cleaned it up. So something interesting that you guys might want to know on restoring this car. Obviously I bought it from Copart, a scrapyard, and I had to go to the DMV and do all the paperwork and all that stuff. So when I got there, I sat at the DMV for about 5 hours, like how it normally goes. You know, painful, brutal process. And I gave them all the forms that I had from Copart, and they tried to get me to pay the registration for all the years that it sat in the junkyard. And I told them there's no fucking way I'm doing that. No fucking way I'm paying any kind of tax registration on a car that sat in a junkyard and wasn't on public roads. And especially because it wasn't under my ownership. So of course the guy at the DMV was like, oh no, you gotta, that's just the way it works, man. You just gotta do it. And I said, no, dude. Give me the fucking statement of facts, I'll file it. I've had these things waived before, I'll have it waived again. He told me, get in the back of the fucking line. So I had to get back in that line, wait another 3 hours, but I don't care. They wanted me to pay like 3-4 grand worth of taxes and registration, and there's no fucking way I'm gonna do that. I'll burn the DMV down before I do that. So of course, got back in line, nightmare process, filled out the statement of facts, give it back, I get up with a new person, and now I'm working with someone who has no idea how anything works. It's like their first time at the DMV, and they're asking someone. Then there's this guy there, super cool, chill guy. He walks up and he's like, oh yeah, you could just waive the fees, blah, blah, blah. Boom, fees waived. Then he said, oh, also, you don't have to pay any kind of sales tax on it because you got a dismantler's ID. And the paper had the dismantler ID. So luckily, I didn't pay any sales tax. I didn't pay any of the registration. All I had to pay is the current registration from now forward. And of course you gotta pay a smog fee and a title fee. So it ended up being like around 300 bucks, which isn't bad for a $100,000 car. So just once again, hopefully my message can help one of you guys. If you ever go to the DMV, know that most of the people there have no idea what they're doing. You know, they don't care. Don't go and be an asshole. Be nice to them. That's how you're gonna get stuff done. You catch more bees with honey than you do vinegar, okay? There's a reason you can get so many fees waived. Most people don't know that. They just pay. They get told what to do and they just pay all the fees, but you don't have to do that. So hopefully you learn something. So now it's time to go drive this baby. we got a check engine light.
Just turn it off. We'll scan it right here. We'll scan it right here.
Oh no, what's going on? Okay, we got it on a charger. Lenny's scanning the codes. What are we at right now?
Guess how many check engine lights we have?
Hopefully not too many.
There's 29 codes right now.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Like half of the computer systems are faulting at the moment.
It's a BMW, but what are the codes? What's going on? Why is it going to limp mode?
Let me just say, I think we're gonna need a new engine sponsor.
No, we just fixed the car.
I mean, look at these. Like, this is no joke.